in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Harrison Smith, defensive back, Notre Dame.
What a pick that turned out to be. I was about 43 highlights deep when Smith came off the board and almost peed myself. I was so happy. My name is Matt Falk, and I am joined with Nick Lupagus Edlund, and we want to welcome you to the first draft season podcast of 2017. All right, Lupagus, before we get started, the draft is only 31 days away, and with a single noise, tell me how that makes you feel. That was horrifying. But I am so glad I asked. Thank you. That is something I will cherish until the day I die. All right, Lupagus, we got a lot of stuff to cover today. Why don't you lead us off? Where do you want us to start?
Well, why don't we start by talking about a position that the Vikings might address earlier in the draft than most fans would expect them to.
Ooh, I like that. I like that quite a bit.
If you like it so much, why don't you start?
Oh, damn. All right, even though we got Kyle Rudolph and they just drafted David Morgan last year, I say tight end, and it could be as early as round 2.
Oh, my God.
And the guy it could be would be Evan Ingram from Ole Miss. He is a full-blown pass-catching tight end who he will not wow you with his blocking skills, but pairing him up with Rudolph could give Sammy Boy one hell of a 1-2 punch at tight end. And this guy could come out as a rookie and put up 50-plus catches in this offense.
I got to be honest with you, Matt, that is crazy, but I like it. I like it a lot.
All right, Lupagus, who you got? Who are the Vikings going to take that nobody is really expecting?
Well, I'm not going to go with the player so much as a position. Defensive end. It's not a very deep class this year. And you look at who the Vikings got. We got studs. We got Danielle Hunter. We got Everson Griffin. Who do we got behind them? You got Brian Robinson, who's older and shit. And then there's nothing. They just released Scott Crichton. We need some depth.
Whoa, hold on. Speaking of position, what's your favorite position?
I only really get one option these days.
What's that?
Hurry up and finish.
All right, continue.
So, yeah, basically I think anytime with the Vikings' early picks, whether it be round 2, looking at a Carl Lawson, or later in the draft, looking at maybe a Dwayne Smoot or Jordan Willis, Tyus Bowser, or somebody like that, the Vikings do need depth at defensive end, so it wouldn't shock me if one of their first 3 picks was adding depth to at that position, Matt.
Well, you know what? I just want to say shame on you. Shame on you for bringing up Scott Crichton in a Vikings podcast. What has he done to deserve to be brought up on this podcast?
It's more like what he didn't do.
Well,
how about a sack, a tackle, playing a game, anything?
You know, I don't know offhand what he has, but I'm going to say he has at least 10 tackles in his career.
I don't know, Matt. You might be a little on the high side there.
Well, we're going to get Statboy to check out how many tackles he had in his career, and he will get us an answer before this is over.
Hello.
Hey, Statboy.
Hello, I am Statboy.
Get your ass on Google and find out how many tackles Crichton had in his entire Viking career.
I'm on it. Hey, Statboy, go wash that loincloth, you perv.
That thing is looking real dusty. All right, well, Statboy is checking that out. We are going to do a quick Vikings 7-round mock, and I will lead it off. We'll just rotate picks. I'll go first, and Lupagus will go second, just like Ultimate Mock style. So at pick 48, I have the Vikings taking guard Dion Dawkins from Temple. And, at this point, it'd be a little bit of a surprise if he's still there at 48. The guy can play guard, he can play tackle. If the Vikings were able to get his hands on him, he would be chucked at right guard immediately, and he'd be a starter. Pairing him up with Boone and the 2 free agent tackles, Reef and Remmers, would be a huge upgrade for round 2. Which brings us to our first pick of round 3, and Lupagus, you are up.
The first pick of round 3, the Minnesota Vikings select center Ethan Posick.
Oh, hot
LSU.
shit.
This is a mean, nasty blocker. This guy can play guard in a pinch if he needed to. My guess is he would come in, challenge Nick Eason for the starting spot. And you know what? I think he'd win that starting spot.
Come on, challenge Nick Eason for the starting spot.
Hey.
We're going to take a center in the round
Nick
3.
held his own.
He better be the starter.
Damn right he's going to be the starter. What a pick.
As unsexy as it might sound, going guard and center with the first 2 picks of the Vikings draft, it would be a huge upgrade with that offensive line. We'd be looking at, 4 new starters week 1?
Matt?
God damn it, Statboy, what do you want?
I found the answer to your question.
Ooh, all right. The question was, I thought Scott Crichton had at least 10 tackles in his NFL career, while the Lupagus thought it was much, much less. What did you find out?
Well, Matt, after searching the Google, I learned that Scott Crichton had 10 tackles in his Vikings career.
Hey-o!
And look at Matt, I used Tide and I got the stain out of my loincloth.
Well, it appears once again that I am right and the Lupagus is wrong, and look
Whoa.
for Scott Crichton to be enshrined in the Vikings Ring of Honor. Scott Crichton will be in the Ring of Honor by the year of 2020.
It's the Cinnamon Ring of Honor.
That's gross. All right, that brings us to our second third-round pick, and I am taking a guy that I am madly in love with. If it was not for an injury, this dude would have been drafted a round earlier. Eddie Jackson, safety, Alabama. The guy had 6 picks his junior year. He got injured in October, broke his leg, cost him at least a round. The fact that we got Harrison Smith, who was a bruiser, and we still got Sendejo, and he had a great 2016. But come on, this guy is not long-term. Eddie Jackson's a ball hawk. He loves getting his hands on his ball. He's also a punt returner. Lupagus, thoughts?
I love it for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's battle-tested. SEC, best conference in college football. Goes against top-flight competition every single week. The guy, he's ready to go. And number 2, we still don't have anybody to play opposite Harrison Smith. Yeah, Sendejo, he's okay. Jaron Curse was really good in the preseason. Didn't pan out when it actually started to matter.
So you're saying Anthony Harris and Anton Exum are just complete crap?
Yeah, you know what? I actually loved when we got those 2, but they have not panned out so far, and we are still looking for someone to pair with Harrison Smith.
If we got Eddie Jackson in round 3, he could come in day 1 and compete for Sendejo for that starting job.
I think he might actually win it. All right, first pick in round 4. I know the Vikings just signed Latavius Murray, and I was very happy with that. But we're going down to Foreman, running back Texas. This guy is built like a tank. He can get the tough inside yards. He can push the pile. Yeah, I know he's not going to catch a lot of balls out of the backfield, but that's why Jarrett McKinnon is there. Latavius Murray can carry the load next year. You get Foreman's feet wet, maybe give him 10 carries a game, see how he does. And hey, maybe he takes over the starting job as soon as 2018.
I want to be very clear. If Dante Foreman is there at the top of round 4 when we're there, I will take my clothes off and run around the house.
Hey, it happens every year. Guys fall you don't expect. I know Foreman's a guy who can go anywhere from round 2 to 4, but you know what? That's the fun of watching the draft.
All right, so far we are 3.5 rounds deep, and we got Deion Dawkins, a brand new shiny starting right guard, Ethan Posick, our brand new center, Eddie Jackson, safety, and Dante Foreman, running back. Which brings us to our second, 4th round pick, D.D. Westbrook, wide receiver, Oklahoma. Vikings were obviously looking around at receivers this offseason, looking at Alshon Jeffrey, looking at Rod Streeter.
Look at Rod Streeter.
Yeah, more like Rod Peter.
Or Dreeter.
So going into the next season, we obviously have Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. Behind that, there really isn't much. We lost Patterson. Who else did we lose?
We still have Laquan Treadwell.
We do have Laquan Treadwell. He had 1 catch in his rookie campaign, which was fantastic. What a catch.
It was awesome.
What a catch. Jarius Wright, who knows what's up with this guy. He was inactive half the year. Trade rumors, release rumors. You just can't rely on him. So a guy like Westbrook, he's a little shifty dude. He's 6 foot. He's 175. He managed to put up 17 touchdowns last year, 80 catches, 1,000+ yards. When it comes to the later round 4, he would be a gift for the Vikings. And really, I think he'd get a good amount of playing time as a rookie.
What did you say his first name was?
Didi.
Speaking of Didi's, I have a neighbor in my block named Didi, and we actually call her Didi Piss Pants because she was at the American Legion one night and she got so drunk she pissed all over a bar stool.
Thank you for that nugget, Lupagus. Moving on to round 5.
All right, that's my pick, and I am going to address the position I had mentioned earlier. We're going to go defensive end. We're going Dwayne Smoot. Again, the depth concerns me here. I love our starters. I'm okay with Robinson still, even though he's getting old. But after that, it just gets real thin real quick. Smoot's a guy. He's got some natural pass rush skills. His combine wasn't the greatest, but I still think round 5, he's definitely worth a flyer at this point.
I think he's worth a flyer. I just don't agree with the position. I think defensive end, like you said, we got Robinson as our backup.
Yeah, it's 3 guys.
We got Hunter and Griffin.
And one gets hurt.
Wait, what about Weatherly?
What about Weatherly?
Well, he's just a backup.
He hasn't done
I think
anything
there's
yet.
more important positions than defensive end come round 5.
Yeah, but Smoot's there. I think he jumped.
I don't think Smoot's that great.
I don't think you're very great.
All right, round 6. Brrr, where the stars are made. I am going with...
Not true.
Oh, you're right. I am going with kicker, Zane Gonzalez.
Oh, my God.
Right now we have King Kai Forbath, who actually had one hell of a second part of the season.
He was okay.
Okay, I don't think he missed a kick.
He missed a couple extra points.
I don't think it was a couple. Stat boy!
I will go check.
All right, Lupagus says more than one. I say one missed extra point. So Gonzalez, 6th-round pick. He's a kicker. He's the top kicker in the draft. So if you're getting him around 6, where he's projected anywhere from round 4 to undrafted, he's got a boot. He's at a 59-yarder. He's been pretty accurate throughout his career. Forbath was nice, but come on. I mean, he's not no long-term option.
All right, I know it's hard to use a draft pick on a kicker, but Matt, I agree with you on this pick. Forbath is just a stopgap option. He's not the long-term answer. Gonzalez could come in and be, our kicker for the next 10 years if he pans out. He's got a really big leg. I mean, he's got a Kevin Bacon Wild Things leg on him.
All right, last round.
Hey, that's me. Don't jump on my shit here.
I won't do it.
Here we go. We're going linebacker, Oda Clemson, Ben Boulware. I love this guy. He's not the biggest guy. He's not very athletically gifted, but he is crazy. He's nuts on the field. He plays with a ton of intensity, ton of heart. Guys all over the field. I think he comes in. He is a factor on special teams from day one, and he can work his way into the linebacker rotation, get a few snaps here, a few snaps there. Eventually, maybe he becomes a starter. That might be a little bold right now, but I do love this kid, love his intensity.
Would you like him if he didn't have a beard? If he was freshly shaven and then act so weird on the field, would you still like him?
Are you asking if he was freshly shorn?
Freshly shorn, would you still like him?
Hell yeah, I'd still like him.
All right, I think this guy turns out to be, at best, a special teams demon, but we are in round 7, so I will take him and his beard.
All right, Matt, just to recap here, the first pick, we got Deion Dawkins, their starting guard from Temple. We got Ethan Posick, our new center from LSU. Eddie Jackson, safety, Alabama. That looks to me like 3 starters right there. And then you got running back Donta Foreman from Texas. Wide receiver, Dede Westbrook. Then we got DN Dwayne Smoot, kicker Zane Gonzalez, and then linebacker Ben Boulware. If that was our draft, I would be pretty damn excited, especially without having a first-round pick, because I look at it, I see at least 3 potential starters, worst case 2, and then a player who's going to get a ton of playing time in Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, I would probably give this draft a B+. We got Dawkins, who will definitely start day 1. There's no doubt about it. He has no competition at right guard. Eddie Jackson, I could see pushing right away. Foreman would definitely get some carries right off the bat. The later round guys are...
What the hell? Are you some kind of pirate?
Zip it, Lupagus. All I was saying is...
Wait. Guys,
Hey, that boy.
sorry to interrupt, but I got off the Google and I found answer to your question. This was about the kicker, Kai Forbath.
All right, I said he had 1 missed extra point. Lupagus was appalled by that. What do you got?
He actually missed 3 extra points. Don't hit me, Mr. Fogg. Don't hit me.
Stat boy, get the hell out of here. 3 extra points. All right, I'm all for Zane Gonzalez. Bring it on. King Kai, eat it.
Lupagus was right.
All I was saying is the late round guys were good. Bullware, special teams guy, even if you get that out of him. And the kicker, absolutely, we need some competition at kicker.
All right, 7-rounder is done. Moving on. Matt, one of my favorite draft memories was from, I think it was like the 2006 draft. It's a shocking pick. I remember when Dante Whitner was taken at pick 8 by the Bills. It just completely floored me. And I love that about the draft. You just never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to ask you right now, who is going to be that shocking pick this year that comes off way earlier than anybody expects or anybody anticipates?
You know, that is the best part about the draft. And my favorite memory about crapping my pants when a guy went off way too early was Tyson Alualu in 2010.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
He went at pick 10. I don't even think I had that guy in the first round.
We were at your really shitty house in Seagut.
We were in a tiny, tiny living room, and Tyson Alualu went to the Jaguars at pick 10.
Wasn't he supposed to go like in the second round that year?
I don't know where I had that guy, but it was nowhere near pick 10.
That was crazy.
He recently signed with the Steelers. He has definitely not lived up to pick 10.
Yeah, not top 10, but he's been okay. But
He's
not
been
top
all right,
10.
but that is the best part about the draft.
Okay.
You see a guy come off the board that nobody expects. Last year, who was it?
It was Carl Joseph.
Carl Joseph. All right, so this year, I think the guy that's going to come off way earlier than anyone expects is Davis Webb, quarterback from Cal. I think this guy ends up being a first-round pick.
What?
I think the Chiefs could have their eye on him. I think somebody could trade up into round 1. When people start thinking quarterbacks, they start getting nutty. And I think what he's put up at Cal and Texas Tech before that, he's got the build. He could be a franchise quarterback, and he could actually challenge Patrick Mahomes.
Two things here. In your heart, do you actually believe what you just said?
Yes, absolutely.
Seriously.
Mahomes is a project. Kaiser is a project.
Would you if you were wrong, would you sacrifice Stat Boy?
I would sacrifice Stat Boy for a cold Miller High Life Light right now.
Oh my God! All right.
No, hold on. I think he is just more ready than a Kaiser, than a Mahomes. A long run, they might be better, but somebody's going to antsy, and Webb will definitely be on the radar. If he lasts past the middle of round 2, I'll be shocked.
All right.
Do not be shocked if he goes in round 1.
That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. You know, he did tweet recently that he had, a dozen teams interested in him in round 1.
Yeah, well, I just tweeted that I was good looking.
And I just retweeted that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, who is the guy on your radar that is going to go way sooner than anyone expects?
I'm not just going to say he's going to go sooner. I'm going to guarantee it, Matt. I'm going to say this guy goes in the top 15. The team I'm looking at is the Indianapolis Colts at pick 14. They're going to take Obi Melifonwu, safety from UConn. This guy is 6'4", 220 pounds, hits like a freaking truck. He can cover. He's got great speed. He blew up the combine. I don't know why this guy isn't getting more love. He should be seen as a top 15 pick, hands down.
Love it. I love it. And we always see safeties go way sooner than we should. We always see it.
Whitner, Joseph.
This guy is the real deal. And, by the way, he is a draft season interviewee.
Where could I read that interview?
Draftseason.com.
Nice.
Don't forget the W's. All right, so last up is one of my favorites when it comes to draft time. The best names of the draft.
Oh, yeah,
because
I love that.
Every year, regardless if they're first-rounders or undrafted free agents.
Most of them are undrafted.
Most of them are undrafted. They have some sweet names where when it comes to later rounds, you just want them because of their name. All right, so Lupagus and I are each going to throw 3 names. And I am going to start out.
No, let me start. You can't top this name.
All right,
this is the best name. You can have an entire draft.
Why would you start it with your best name?
I have to.
Leave your best for last.
This is unbelievable.
All right, go.
This guy is an outside linebacker from Florida. His name is Alex Anelzone.
Stat boy, that does not sound right. Please check on his name.
Alex Anelzone.
Stat boy, are
That
you
is
around?
the best name I've heard in my life.
Stat boy?
Okay, I will go Google it.
Please look up his name, because that doesn't sound right. I think Lupagus is just hoping that is the way his name is pronounced. All right, I will take it from here. My first guy is Fish Smithson, safety, Kansas. This guy has had 6 career interceptions. He's actually projected to go anywhere from round 4 to round 7 or be a high priority free agent pickup. One of my favorite parts about Fish Smithson is his brother, who is named Shaky. I would love to be at this guy's family reunion. Lupagus, what do you got?
I would too. I'm sure his mom's name is Beaver. Anyway, my first name is going to be a guy who's actually projected to go pretty high in this draft. Some even actually have him as their number 1 receiver, which I think is a little bit crazy. But anyway, his name is Cooper Kupp, and he's from Eastern Michigan. Every time I hear this guy's name, Cooper Kupp, I picture myself at a doctor's office, turning my head and letting out a big old hearty cough.
Yeah, everybody loves Cooper Kupp. All right, next up on my list is Kermit Whitfield.
Hey-ho.
Kermit is 5'8". He's a Florida State wide receiver. He's pretty much projected to be right on the fringe of round 7, undrafted. He had 34 catches last year. If he gets drafted, it'll be solely because of his kick returning ability. He's 5'8", just a little dude. How could you not want a guy on your roster named Kermit? When it comes to round 7, if you're going to get a guy who could possibly play special teams or his name would Kermit, what would you rather have?
I know, but I heard his girlfriend's a real pig.
Ew.
Anyway, I'm up again here. I'm going to go with the defensive end out of Ohio, who is named perfectly for a guy who smashes quarterbacks. This guy's name is Terrell Basham. Hell yeah, he bashes everybody he faces.
Terrell Basham?
Basham.
That's weak. I don't even like that one.
How would you not want a jersey, Vikings purple jersey that says Basham on the back?
How do you spell it?
Basham.
Yes.
All right.
I agree. I like Basham.
Good.
Where's he supposed to go? I've never even heard of this guy.
I don't know. He's probably like a mid-round guy.
Mid-round?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Absolutely.
All right. We got Basham. My last guy and my favorite guy.
Oh, wait. Stat Boy's here.
Stat Boy, what do you got?
Turns out Master Lupagus made a mistake.
What?
It was not Alex Anal Zone. Hey, Stat Boy, speaking of anal zones,
hold on.
I can see yours right now. Get a longer loincloth.
All right, Stat Boy, how do you say it?
Oh, you're not very nice, Mr. Lupagus. It's actually Alex Anzalone.
Ew.
Anzalone.
Anzalone. Thank you, Stat
All right,
Boy.
fine. I screwed up. Big deal.
Stat Boy, get back in your corner.
Yeah, go back there.
All right, my final best name.
Hey, you turn around, Stat Boy.
Of the 2017 draft. And my favorite, Weston Steelhammer, safety, Air Force. This guy racked up 6 picks. He plays for the Air Force.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. So teams will definitely shy away from that. But this guy, could you picture a better name for a safety than Steelhammer?
Actually, I think
Harrison Smith in the backfield. Oh, he gets smoked, but Steelhammer is right there with the pick.
Wasn't Steelhammer the name of an 80s hair band?
I don't know, but if it was, it sounds like an awesome band.
It was. They opened up for Skid Row.
Beat Steelhammer. Go.
I will. That's easy. And I can't believe you didn't think of this, but there's no better name in this draft, and I would actually argue any draft than Jake Butt.
You know what?
Tight end, Michigan.
I saw Jake Butt, and I just thought it was way too damn easy.
No, it doesn't matter. I might have been wrong on Anal Zone, but I am not wrong on Butt. I mean, seriously, how would you not want a guy named Jake Butt? You get a jersey of your favorite team with Butt on the back.
Nobody wants a jersey with Butt on their back.
Bullshit, they don't. I would definitely buy
Jake
a purple
Butt
jersey.
Is a better blocker than he is receiver.
Oh, no.
You don't want a Jake Butt jersey with 20 catches a year.
Definitely want a Jake Butt jersey. I'll get it dirty just so it stinks.
All right, I cannot argue with that. And if anyone thinks I got a better name than the ones we just spit out, go to draftseason.com/best name and put in the player's name and the school, and we will pick the best one, and the winner gets a free draft season shirt. What more could you ask for than strutting your stuff in a beautiful draft season shirt? We are just about to wrap up. Before we wrap up, we're going to call a local celebrity known as Skin Pie, and we're going to find out his thoughts on who he wants to see in purple in round 2.
Hello?
Hey, happy birthday, you son of a bitch!
Well, thank you.
Hey, you are live on the draft season first ever podcast.
Oh, boy.
And we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who is the one player you want the Vikings to take in round 2? Your number one choice. Who is the man?
Feeney.
Dan Feeney is going with.
This just in, Skin Pie wants Dan Feeney, guard Indiana. You heard it here, folks. He wants Dan Feeney. Thanks, Skin Pie. Now go have yourself one hell of a birthday beer. And that is it for Draft Season's first podcast of the season. Remember to go to draftseason.com for all your draft needs and wants.
Yes, it is www.draftseason.com.
Thank you, Stat Boy.
You're welcome.
And follow the Lupagus on Twitter at Lupagus and myself at Matt_Falk. And thank you for joining us.